Hello and welcome to another episode of Lubeck with me, Gavia. And I hope you had a good week. I sure did, and I got a little bit of Minecraft time in, and I built some stuff that I might show you in a later episode. But today we're going to go and look at the little village of Blackwater and its constructions, and we're going to do a little build as well. Or I'm going to continue on a build that I've started before and haven't quite finished yet due to lack of resources. But I've now gathered up some more obsidian, so we should be good to go. Over in the distance there you can see Lubeck, and we're traveling along this road. And over here is an interesting building, and I thought I'm gonna... Oh my days, something has blown up here. I thought I was going to show you this first, and sort of the trek to Lubeck. I don't know if you recall in the last episode, or if you haven't seen it, the small village of Blackwater, sorry. It's around 700 odd blocks away from Lubeck, and Lubeck is the name of my main base. And sort of halfway in between them is this lovely inn that I built, and it's really... Well, it came about from a need that I had. I seem to always end up around this spot somewhere with it getting dark, and down there is a swamp, and it's quite full of nasties, and obviously the plains or the tundra over here as well isn't the safest place. So I started out building a little hole in the mountain here, and then I had the idea of making an inn, and it became this, and it's quite nice. It's one of the more furnished buildings that I've made, and it's got 2 fireplaces no less, which is shiny. Obviously it's not quite furnished, but there is a bed. And there's also a sort of half floor here. This is the place for the 3rd fireplace, but it hasn't gone in yet. And up here we have quite a nice view over the swamp. You can see the road that we're going to travel along here. And over this way the road leads back to Lubeck, out of rendering distance. So anyway, that's just something to show you, and now we're going to continue on towards Blackwater. This road is quite old. I built it after having become annoyed with pure cobblestone roads, and so I wanted something more natural looking, and this is what I came up with. Ooh, the fan died. That is awesome. Thank you guys for that. That's brilliant. And the road, yeah, I as with everything here, I try to keep it natural, so I'll try and follow the natural curves of the landscape, so you can see it sort of worms around a bit. And I even left some vines in it, so whoop, vines. And then whenever I encountered a natural obstacle, I tried to build a bridge. This is a very simple bridge, obviously it's the first one I built, but it leads up to a second bridge, which is a bit more nice, a bit nicer even. And it's my first attempt at making an arch, and I think it works quite nicely here. It sort of fits in the landscape, and it blends in basically, and it's a nice little construction. This is quite a big bridge we're coming up on here, and it's a bit more strict in its lines, and it's purely wooden. I experimented a bit with different types of wood here. It's alright, it works. Obviously this village of Blackwater is in the middle of a dark oak, or a roofed forest I believe it's called, and so the theme is that. And as we approach here you might notice the shell keeper. I'm going to go up and show that later on as well. But here we enter the village of Blackwater, population 3. That's not true anymore. The village has expanded greatly. I just heard a zombie somewhere. And so you will see, hopefully, when we come in, quite a lot of friends welcoming us home. There's the local priest standing on a door. The resident iron golem. Oh, the mad scientist. We have 2 iron golems actually. So from that you can deduce that the town is not exactly small. It contains at least 31, I think it is, villagers. This is my original house in the town, and underneath it is quite an extensive mine that you access through there. It's nothing really special, obviously, but leading up, the stair leads up to the shell keep, and I am quite proud of this. It's kind of cool, and I used cobblestone and dark oak wood. I know it's kind of mundane, but it does well for sort of a medieval feel. Obviously, I should probably decorate it more, but the idea of a shell keep is that, and this is an actual medieval construction, by the way, is that the walls, there's 2 walls, and they're circular, and the living space is actually in between the 2 walls. So this is the living space. And since it's a defensive construction, I made the windows very small. Obviously it's not as pretty maybe, but oh dear, that doesn't look very good. Okay, I'll have to fix that at some point. But yeah, here I made a little throne even. I keep wanting, I have a couple of members of the family that plays on this world sometimes, and I keep wanting them to decorate this place, but we never seem to get around to it. The inner courtyard in a shell keep was always the place for exercise of the military, for shoeing your horses, and general work in the shell keep. This is obviously not going to be a history lesson. I'm just trying to point out that this is something I quite enjoy, building something that actually might have existed and that has kind of a realistic feel. In the middle is a tower, and you can go up to it, into it, but it's not very pretty, I'm afraid. But I'm gonna do it anyway to give you a bit of a view. So the village is below us, and over here is something that looks like some sort of farm. I'll go over there and show you later on. And beyond it is another farm, and that's what we're gonna actually work on a little bit today. So I better head over there, and I'll explain more as I go along. Yeah, I walled all this village in. As you can see, the wall is only pretty from the way that I approach. I haven't actually finished it. So as you can see, there's a lot to do still in this world. But the reason I walled it in, obviously, zombies tend to attack villages. Oh, hello, Mr. Scientist. And that's a problem, and the villagers are incredibly daft. They are so daft, it's unreal. So actually, this village now has no wooden doors, because the villagers will just open them and go out and get killed, basically. So the wall is actually as much to keep the villagers in as it is to keep the nasties out. And oh, we can see the thing in the distance there. That's another type of farm. I'll explain that in a minute. But what we're coming up to here, first of all, is my iron farm. And it is lovely, although it is a bit slow. Or however, I'm obviously pretty much the only person playing on this server, so it doesn't really matter. I get what iron I need, and it's all fine. For one of these farms you need 10 villagers, so I put a rail cart in, or a railway in, and put a rail cart in it, and chucked 2 villagers in fact, and then I gave them some food. And then they've sorted the rest out themselves, actually. I haven't helped them at all. And obviously the golems spawn in the middle area here, and then they fall down into the water and ends up dead from the lava. As you can see, it kind of works. I've looted this quite extensively lately for iron, but obviously I have a ton of poppies as well. This is my little hut where I sometimes stand around in the night to AFK farm it. And actually there are 2 more farms out here. Obviously you can see the big purple thing. I'm going to go over and explain that in a minute. But hidden beneath here is a zombie spawner. He might be a bit aggressive, this guy. A zombie spawner, and the zombie spawner has been turned into a mob farm, or an experience farm, basically. And it's, I'm sorry for the rudimentary stairway, it's another thing that I never get to finish. And for view, you can see the spawner there, then there's a drop down into a hole down there, and then the mobs gets transported to here. And I've put in glass here so you can see them come up through the water elevation. And the idea is they drop down quite a bit, so unless they're warm, well, Pete's sakes, man, die already. He had a random piece of chicken and a pair of pants, trousers with protection. I've also got these. Quite nice. And again, I've looted that quite extensively. It's quite a lot of nice little armor with enchantments on them. And obviously the main purpose there is the levels. So, to that effect, there's an enchanting table with some... Oh, look at him go. With some bookcases around it. Yeah, that's that. These are obviously, again, not my designs, but they are nice nevertheless. Oh dear. So I'm gonna struggle, fight my way up this stairway boss, and then we're gonna go over to the purple side. I'm gonna explain myself. If you didn't know, I'm sure you know already, by the way, but it is a gold farm, the purple thing, and basically, obviously, it's nether portals, and through nether portals comes zombie pigmen. When they fall to their untimely demise, they occasionally... Whoa! There's gonna be critters out, aren't there? I better run, if I can. Yes, when they go to their untimely demise, they will occasionally drop gold nuggets. And you can turn those gold nuggets into gold bars, and you can turn the gold bars into gold blocks if you so wish. I'm going to just show you the fruits of our labor so far. The thing is, this is actually an operational farm, but it's not finished, and so we're going to try and at least work a little bit on it. They fall down here to their death. I don't want their I don't want their experience, so there's just a hopper and a chest, and the gold nuggets end up. I better get out of here before they start falling on me. The gold nuggets get gathered into the chest, and everybody's happy. Now, this farm is supposed to have... Oh, I can turn it off by the way. If you can see it up there through the glass. The pigmen spawn from the portals, so obviously the portals are crucial to the design, and the more portals, or the more area the portals cover, the better. And so if I go up here and show you what it looks like, at the moment you can see that they are spawning, falling in, and they're getting trapped a little bit by the water, and then they drop to their death, hopefully giving me the kills. And these portals here are the maximum size allowed for a portal. I can't actually remember the size, but it's quite well specific. But as you can see, there are obsidian circles, obsidian squares in the middle here, and they do not contain portals. And the idea is to build them up to this height and around, 4 on each square, and then light them. Although I do realize that I have actually forgotten flint and steel, but we won't get back to that later. I do have an iron farm not far away, so If I can find some gravel, I can possibly make one. Yeah, again, me and stairways. This is obviously a construction stairway. It's wear your hard hats. If I fall in here, it's awkward, so I'm going to try not to, but obviously I can't make a hit from it. And well, I think we better get started. The thing about this is it's quite boring work, but it's got to be done. You just basically build them up like this. I'm going to start with the smallest one. I'm not going to like make the real... reach the other ones. And get it the right height. That's probably the right height. Let's check. I don't want to really undo it, so it's better if it's too short. Just because it takes so long to undo sitting. And yep, so I'm going to put another block. Oh dear, block. And then we're gonna build. Oh no, I placed the wrong thing. I am such a monkey. Alright, well let's stand and look at me mining obsidian for a bit then. There we go. So, shift key is held. I do have some sort of feather falling going on, so I might not die if I fall down. I should have counted here obviously, but we'll jump down here. And make our way down into the trap. Alright. So now you get to see how you survive a falling into your own trap. Now, this is crucial. I need to get out this book before I do anything else. Otherwise, if I get up here, I can't reach the last bit. Sorry about that. That's me being clumsy, and then we fall down here and I have to get up again and get down again, and it's the whole thing. I do understand now. See, I've never built anything while recording before, and I thought it would be a nice thing to do. So, it's kind of fun. I've been watching quite a few Minecraft videos lately, and it's kind of fun to see people build things when it matters, you know what I mean? When it's survival mode, and it's, you know, you can die, there can be creepers blowing things up, although there should be safe in here. That's famous last words for you right there. Not falling in, that's priority here. Oh, let's see here. What we can do. So I need to build this up next. And we'll see how accurate I was with my estimation. I might be missing one block here. Oh, I could have counted by the way from up. Oh no, I did calculate correctly. And now I'm in a pickle. Oh, okay. And there we go. One arch completed. I should put a slime block in the middle downstairs or something like that, so I can just jump down. Or jump, as they say here in England. I'm not native, you might have realized this. I'm Swedish, and I do live in England. It's a nice country, there's a lot to do. Let's see here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For future reference. This one. That's 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, goes one block out anyway. So, building one block more, and then we need to connect these two. Obviously, because the obsidian portals they share walls, or they share pillars, less obsidian is used, so that's a plus. But as you can see, I started with a full stack and I built one and a bit. Well, I built 2 and a bit of the smallest one of these. I don't know if I got the count in there. See, again, I'm not. That's probably right. And I'm already down over a stack, so I don't think I'll be able to finish this with the obsidian that I have, but you know, if I chuck away at this whenever I happen to run into a lava pool, I will eventually get finished. And every time I complete the portal, it does get a bit more efficient. So let's see if we can finish this inner portal off. And then after that, I think there's one more thing I wanted to go and show you today, and then that will wrap up this episode. I don't know the time. What time is it? We're going for a bit over 20 minutes. That's a bit much. I don't want to make these too long. Right, so let's see if we can sort this out in a safe and secure manner. Put that there. Put some material in. Put some more blocks in. And we can waltz over. Solid block. Alright, so we just need to finish up this archway here, and there we go. I could have saved, I guess, a little bit more obsidian if I had some other block in the corners, but hey, it's not that. So there we go. Another bit of the gold farm completed. Wow, that feels good. I need my gold. I use a lot of rails, so using powered rails and powered rails. That's my primary use for it, really. As you can see here, I don't know if you know how these types of farms work, but the zombies spawn. The chance of spawning is calculated once per purple square. And so the bigger the portals and the more portals there are, the bigger the chance that somebody will spawn. And so that's why I want to make as many portals as I can in this area, and then they will drop down and give me tons of gold. And now we shall finish this off with a look at a skeleton farm. This area, it turns out, of course, the villagers would have built on like the most dangerous area in the entire world. So what they did was they built their village right on top of a skeleton spawner, and then just outside the door they managed to squeeze in a zombie spawner as well. So I found this skeleton spawner ages ago. It's down in my mine, and I haven't really been able to do anything with it until I had a brainwave not too long ago. And the reason for that is that my mine is on wide level 13, I'm gonna say. And so there's not a whole lot of space underneath it, and all the zombie spawners and mob spawner traps that I looked at, they required you to dig down and dig up and dig, you know, everywhere. It was complicated and tricky to do at that lower level. But I did think I could make. I needed bone meal, so I think that's what drove me to this. I thought I could make a nice cave here. Ignore the dirt. It's there for a reason. I'll show you in a minute. So I mean, upwards is no problem. We're on Y15 at the moment. So this is down a couple of more blocks, and I thought I'd make it simpler, less efficient, but simpler, and work. And yeah, the dirt is there to hide this area so that they don't get too much light. But as you can see, zombies spawn here, and then they get transported, not down this time, but sideways into a lava blade, and they get killed. and then they drop their shells in here. And bone meal is the main thing, but obviously arrows is nice as well. Take the arrows out, they're kind of annoying me. Oh, that was wrong. That was the wrong thing to do. The reason that they annoy me is because infinity. But my infinity might run out, so it's not a bad thing. Anyway, the burn is nice. As you can see, it's quite efficient with the spawning part of it. But I expect quite a few of the drops get burnt. So I think that's the main problem with it. But it is what you can do with very little space to go down. I think if you stand around here you can actually see the spawner from here as well. Maybe. Anyway, that's a bit more of a tour of my world. There's more to see yet. And also a bit of construction done, and I'm happy with that. Gonna go and light this these arches now, apart from one, so that I can get to the inner ones. And we'll see how much that does for the spawn rate. Anyway, thank you very much guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Have fun!